So I think, first of all, maybe we should talk about what is the rule of marriage.
That's wise.
And we learn that in Jacob chapter 2. Do you want to read that?
Yeah. So I don't know of any place in Scripture that is clearer as far as establishing what the Lord's rule is or what his pattern is, and then giving the exception. I can't find any better place than Jacob chapter 2, verse 27 through 30. So you'll notice the rule, or we might call it the law, the Lord's law of marriage, right? In verse 27, wherefore, my brethren, hear me and hearken to the word of the Lord. Did you catch that? It wasn't, let me give you my opinion as your prophet. He says, hearken unto the word of the Lord. There shall not any man among you have, save it be one wife, and concubines he shall have none. And then he gives some other information, but then he gives the exception in verse 30 of Jacob chapter 2. For if I will, did you notice those three words? Conditional on God willing it. If I will. It's not if you want it, or if you think it's a good idea, or if you've been reading the Bible and say, hey, I want to apply this. It's if I will, saith the Lord of hosts, raise up seed unto me, I will command my people. Otherwise they shall hearken unto these things. So you could write law next to verse 27 and exception next to verse 30.
Right. And I think even we know section 42 as the law, right? And even there, the Lord clearly delineates to Joseph in verse 22, thou shalt love thy wife with all thy heart, and shalt cleave unto her and none else. That is the law.
And it's pretty clear.
Right? Yeah. In section 49, verse 16, again, we get this. Wherefore it is lawful that he should have one wife, and they twain shall be one flesh. And all that the earth might answer the end of its creation.
Can I just interject here something that I think is interesting, and I think it's important, is it seems to me, from my perspective, this is just my opinion, that God seems to usually begin with the rule or the law and then deal with exceptions down the road as needs arise. So for me, it's fascinating to read our earliest accounts in Scripture of two people in Eden, Adam and Eve. It wasn't Adam and Eve and Alice. It was Adam and Eve. The rule, the law. Let's begin there. Let's get that right, and then we'll deal with exceptions.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a really good point. And I actually think in a lot of ways we can see Adam and Eve in Joseph and Emma as they go through their own dreary wilderness and with noxious weeds and thistles that they have to figure out how to make it all work.